Hey everybody, this is Minister Marvin K. White here in front of San Francisco City Hall with the one and only, the incomparable Jock McDonald.
Hello, Marvin.
Good to see you, Jock. Long time.
I know. What a ride.
What a ride. Why don't we tell folks about this ride called We the People?
Well, yes. I remember giving you a telephone call after talking to George, and he said, you're going to have to talk to Marvin. And you threw your arms wide around this project from the beginning.
Yes, yes.
And COVID was really rampant. It was 9 months ago.
Yeah, wow.
And, we had to follow heavy protocol.
Yes,
and you were there for every photo shoot.
Yes, yes.
And you said, let's build this community.
Yeah, and let's be clear, heavy protocol was not the name of the band we followed. It was what we had to do. But it has been an amazing opportunity to tell the worst dad jokes.
Couple of those.
But you have a long history at Glide, so you're not new to us. Why don't you tell the folks how far back you go?
Yeah, so I was contacted by Suicide Prevention to do comic portraits. And because their stance was that laughter was a great reason to get through difficult times. And so, I photographed, Melvin Belli, one of the great lawyers of San Francisco, as, Blind Justice. And I did Nancy Pelosi and Barbara Boxer as the Andrews sisters. And so Cecil Williams was on the list. And I don't know if everyone remembers Animal House, when the devil pops on the shoulder of the actor and the angel pops on the head. So I dressed Reverend Cecil Williams as an angel and a devil, and I put it on their shoulders. And he's like, you have to come down to Glide.
Oh my God.
And so I was, part of the community, and it saw me through some dark times too. So I feel like, that there's a long history, and having, Cecil back up there, for me is just right as rain.
It is an amazing full circle moment. But you also did another portrait project at Glide.
The project with Glide that happened before it was on Prop C, which was Mark Benioff's program to get Prop C through. And again, Glide just because of how great the community is, and was able to step up and provide people that were invisible for that campaign.
Let's talk a little bit more about We the People. Can you say a little bit about the name itself and what it means to you?
Well, I just, the way the politic had been going, and the divisions, the inequities, as an artist, if I could throw a tiny amount of weight on the fact that we all share so much. And Shakespeare, the eyes are the windows to the soul. The Constitution, we the people take these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. And powerful words. And I just think that as a species, the list of what we share is very long.
That is, I think that is an immortal truth. We're all on this big ball of fire floating through the air at 70,000 kilometers per hour. We're all on the same ride. We might as well enjoy it. I think, one of the things that really makes me happy about this project is the truth you were talking about. So many of us and so many people in COVID, after these past 4 years of the former administration, there were so many things said about people. I feel like your photography really allowed people to show who they are. Like you were going for their eyes, so it's very apparent that you were trying to get inside of them somewhere. And can you say a little bit about how the eyes and how that is a part of this project?
Well, when you look into someone's eyes, you're in full relationship, in a sense. and it builds empathy. And I think that, and I feel that the We the People project, that's what's happening up on City Hall, is we're able to see how similar we are through the eyes. And skin color doesn't become important. Age or race sort of falls away. And we're left with the usness.
And this is different than like melting pot like politics, which is the erasure of who we are. I feel like this it honors like the various flavors, because you can still see, you know, ethnicity and age and gender, and it honors that, but it still lines you up with the rest of humanity. So no one is more human in this piece.
Yeah, it's the blanket of humanity, the fabric of it, and the way we're woven together. When I did an early experiment of this project before we got to doing the collaboration with Clyde, is I photographed 50 people at a gallery and then morphed them into each other right there at the gallery.
Oh, wow.
And there were two very distinct things that happened. One was an older gentleman who was in his 70s, morphed into this very beautiful young woman, and he turned to her because she was in the room, and he goes, "Was it as good for you as it was for me?"
That's great.
And then a young boy of 6 kept watching it over and over again, and his father said, "We have to go. Seamus, we have to go." And the boy was like, no. And finally his dad started to pull him like out, and the boy threw himself on the ground and had a tantrum. And his father said, why do you need to see it? You've seen it over. And the boy said, "I want to see me turn into you."
Oh, wow.
And I think that's part of what's going on there too, is the similarities, the meshing together.
And it's also, you know, I want to know that I'm still connected. You know, in this 1 year of COVID and isolation and sheltering in place, and fear of one another, who has the virus, who does not have the virus, and now
am I going to get it?
Yes, who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated? Can we come together? Can we be in proximity? Like, this project to me seemed to erase a lot, you know, of these fears that we had of each other. You know, even if it's virtual, even if it's computer generated, it still showed in its totality that we are connected, no matter what. No matter what.
Through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin. Yeah. So finally, why don't you tell us what the hopes and the dreams of this piece are?
Well, as it moves forward, it is sort of a closed piece. It's like a painting. You know, it has a beginning and a middle and an end, in a sense, and paintings have that, you know, top, a side, left, and right. I have hopes that at some point it might be possible that people can do a selfie and send it to a site that I hold up, and then it is virtual.
Nice.
That it could happen like on the fly.
Nice.
And people could participate.
Nice. And could you have 1 million people?
Not at this point.
You know, but could you one day have a project where the whole world could be a part of it?
It's possible, and the thing that I'm also, the backstory of it is that this technology needs to belong to the people.
Yeah.
I don't want it to, you know, be used or leveraged for surveillance or these kinds of things. It's important that a person owns their identity in a sense. So there is that side of it, and I think that it is possible. I do like the idea of people being able to be the art and be the audience of the art. In that, I think that there's real empathy and you know, how many times do you want to see the Mona Lisa? You know, I mean, but to see yourself, you know, tumbling in our humanity.
Is the Mona Lisa different from the Mona Lisa?
Well, I'm a Canadian. We have a terrible accent. You know, it's like a lot of times there's subtitles, and you know, it's sort of the Canadian in me coming out.
That's amazing. Why don't we bring Larry into the frame?
Hey, Larry.
And Larry is one of the subjects.
Larry's
in the video. How can we get Larry in? You stay.
Yeah.
And I want Larry to talk about what it means to see himself.
We won't be able to hear you, I think, unless you speak up.
Well, and actually,
it's good to see you.
I'm not used to being without the mask on. But it's real amazing to see myself being projected up there. Whenever I first came here, I never imagined that this would happen.
Yeah. So. And tell us, have you shared it with your family?
Yes, I have.
And what have been their responses?
They loved it. Yeah, they thought that you did a very good job on it.
Thank you, Larry. You also didn't know what you had agreed to in a way, I think, right? You're like...
Not really. And it did turn out a lot better than I was expecting.
Nice. Well, that's it. I think what Larry, one of the things that Larry said, he used the word imagination, and, one of the things that Clyde does is make sure that we fight for people's imagination so they can see, if you can see yourself on City Hall, maybe you can see yourself inside a City Hall, and maybe you can see City Hall fighting for you. Like, we have to make sure that we magnify people's stories 100 times bigger than they are, so they can see themselves
that's a beautiful thing.
And yeah, I just came up with that. So we appreciate you, Jock.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
Marvin. We cannot wait till the next project.
Yeah.
Whatever iteration it takes, we are there for it.
Terrific.
Thank you so much.
You so much.
You're very welcome.
What a pleasure.